Hello, this is Andrew Thake from Mines and Money, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Simon Ridgway, who's President and CEO of Volcanic Gold Mines and also Chairman of the Gold Group. Delighted to go and welcome today.
Well, thank you, Andrew. Thank you for the invitation to be here.
Great. I think that some of our viewers might be familiar with Volcanic Gold Mines, but then some of them probably would like to know a little bit more. Can you give us a brief overview of the company?
Yeah, Volcanic Gold Mines was founded just about a year ago. It acquired the Gold Group of companies is a group of companies that share a overhead expense in Vancouver, and I'm the founder of the group. And I had a company called Radius Gold that was active in Guatemala for quite a few years. It had a couple of early stage discoveries and a very large land position in eastern Guatemala. And then when the government changed in Guatemala, Radius went on to do other things in Mexico because it really became a place you couldn't do mineral exploration. And then in the end of 2020, the government in the country changed and the environment got much friendlier. Radius was busy on some discoveries it had in Mexico. So I did a joint venture from Radius to Volcanic, whereby Volcanic got the right to earn into 70% of Radius's very large land position in Guatemala and advance those discoveries that Radius had made. To earn into that, Volcanic's got to spend $7 million on the main two properties, which are called the Holly and the Banderas properties. So it's one large concession that holds those two discoveries. So Volcanic's got to spend $7 million over 4 years to run into 60%, sorry, not 70. And we started working on that and started drilling on the Holly, and we had a lot of very, very good results. So far we got about 30 holes into the Holly discovery and probably established, roughly about 400,000 ounces of high grade underground grades, 5 to 15 gram gold, silver combined. So it's an early stage still, but it's a nice discovery at this point.
And so obviously your early results have been great. What are your plans for 2022? How do you plan to go and develop Holly and Banderas further?
Well, the company's well financed. We've got over 8 million cash in the treasury, so we'll be back drilling again. And towards the end, to draw the straightforward picture, towards the end of last year, we started to get some anti-mining sentiment in the area from people that outside of the area where we're working. So we're going to spend the first month regaining the social license, we'll say. The people that we're employing in the towns where we're working are very supportive of what we're doing, and they want us to continue doing it because we're generating a lot of employment. Some of the people outside of those towns have expressed some anti-mining sentiments. So we need to work with those groups and explain to them that, basically people in Central America want work. All these caravans that are drifting up to North America, it's not about, you read that it's about the violence. That's not really the case. The case is they want what we have, and they want the life that they see in North America. They want, a reasonable lifestyle. To do that, they need employment. So, and that's what we're trying to convince the people in the area of. Employment is about development, right? You need to develop the hydroelectric, you develop mines, you develop the natural resources the country has, and from there, other things grow. That's how all our countries started out. So for the first month and a half, we're going to focus on that. So there'll probably be no drilling for like I said, first month and a half. We have a lot of results still pending from the drilling at the end of last year. So there will be some news flow. And we're also, it's a very large land position that Radius has. It covers about 200,000 hectares. And there's been some, and Radius in the years it worked in Guatemala did a lot of regional work, regional geochem, soil sampling, stream sediment sampling, and identified a lot of anomalies. So meanwhile, we won't be drilling at Holly, we will be following up on all these other anomalies. And some of them are looking very, very interesting. The Motagua Norte project, we're getting a lot of visible gold in quartz veins over a broad area. Guatemala is very attractive geologically. It's got some major structures running through the country, so good plumbing system and great volcanic belt. So it's very underexplored. And like I said, the general population and the present government want to see development. They want to see mining development and other kinds of development. So we just got to work with them, but we also need to work at their pace. So,
Sure.
that's how the year will start out. A bit slower.
Mm.
And we'll do a resource calc on the Holly to see where we're at as far as ounces go. You know, a ballpark, it'll be 300 to 400,000 ounces of high grade. And as we have, you know, about 35 to 40 kilometers south, Bluestone Resources, which is a Lundin company, is building a mine, the Cerro Blanco mine. Actually, I discovered, or my teams discovered the Cerro Blanco gold deposit about 22 years ago. So I'm very familiar with the region where we work in. So, you know, the ounces we're discovering at Holly have a lot of value because there'll be a mine just 30 kilometers to the south of us. So, yeah, it's a great scenario. The company's got just over 40 million shares out and 8 million cash in the treasury, and a couple of great discoveries. We're just gonna, investors need to be patient, and we'll develop the projects as we can.
Yeah. And who are your main shareholders at the moment?
Main shareholders, well, Radius is a large shareholder, myself, and I mean, just a group of people that have worked with me over the last 20 years as I've been in the industry. I've had a number of successes, and those same people tend to take positions in the place I finance. Sure. So, I mean, no major players, but yeah.
It's kind of like good to have like a well-known team of investors who are sort of like backing you. It also seems to be that you've assembled a really great world-class team. Can you tell us our viewers a little bit about the team that you've assembled?
Well, the team I've got assembled in Volcanic have been working with me for over 20 years. They're the team that helped me find Cerro Blanco in the first place. And like I said, I started my career in Central America with a couple of good discoveries. One in Honduras is the San Martin gold deposit. Excuse me, the Cerro Blanco gold deposit in Guatemala and Nicaragua, the Natividad deposit. And the team that worked with me to make those discoveries is still with me today. And those are the guys that are working on in Guatemala. They know the country well. They're locals. They know how to work in the region, and they know how to take care of the social aspects of what we do.
Yeah, and you obviously mentioned that Volcanic Gold Mines is kind of part of the Gold Group. Can you just talk us a little bit about any sort of plans at putting you on your like chairman's hat of Gold Group on? What are the plans that Gold Group has for 2022? Are you after any like acquisitions, plan to set up any new companies?
Yeah, well, we're in the middle of it. The Gold Group, they got a company that's presently halted on the exchanges called Rackler, but it is acquiring a very large gold deposit in the DRC. I am finding that in general, Latin America is becoming a very complicated place to work in mineral exploration. A good friend of mine, Huygen, also, who runs Fortuna, you know, he said once a while ago, you know, mining is a frontier industry and Latin America is no longer a frontier place. So, so you have to go to other frontiers, and you know, we're seeing a lot of changes in Chile and Guatemala, Chile and Honduras, Peru, Argentina are getting very difficult places to establish in mining. So we're looking at Africa. The DRC has got an incredible gold belt in the eastern part of the country. And we're looking at an asset there. It's got over 3.2 million ounces drilled off to date. And I think it's got a real potential to become a tier 1 asset and go to 10 million ounces. The company was called Rackler. We're changing the name upon the financing to Golden Hawk. I'll be raising $15 million, and that raise is just starting now. So if anybody's interested in looking at coming into a very exciting play, it's not early stage. The risk here is not geological, it is political. The DRC has been a difficult place to work historically, but there's, you know, Barrick's got its most modern gold mine in the same belt that we're working in. Friedland is busy, active in the DRC further to the south of where we are in these copper cobalt plays. So it is a well-established mining area. It's got its risks, but it's got its great rewards as well. So that's why we're going there. And
obviously, like your background, you've obviously got decades of experience and an absolutely amazing track record in the industry. I'm just curious to ask, as to, you've talked about political risk there. How do you manage political risk, or like how do you mitigate political risk? What is your sort of like advice out there?
Well, I mean, you try to judge the risk against the reward. You know, my first real success was when I went into Venezuela early on in the early 90s, and you know there was political risk there then. But I like what I saw geologically. So you know, try to establish the fact that the people in the country want mining, that the government is pro mining, and you jump in early. Same in Honduras when I made the discovery of the San Martin deposit. You know, go to countries where the politics are just changing, and you see that the population is supporting of those changes that the government's making, and make the call that the risk reward is worth taking.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get it wrong. There's no doubt, but you can't. You know, it's a high risk industry, so you can't get it right all the time. So I have made some errors.
That's true. One sort of like final question. Obviously, 2021 wasn't, you know, a great year for gold and precious mining companies in terms of share price and in terms of like, you know, sort of like performance. What is your outlook for gold and precious metals in 2022?
Well, I mean, the price for the mining companies, it wasn't a great year. The price of gold was good, though. I mean, if you can make good money mining at these prices. I mean, I was chairman of Fortuna Silver Mines, which we had silver and gold mines. I resigned just a few months ago, but we're generating great cash flow at these prices. So I think with the advent of all of these new investment ideas, like the currency, the different electronic currencies and NTFs, and there's certainly for the people that want to take that high risk, there are other places that the investment dollar's going, and I don't think that's going to change in the next 12 months. But I do think that, you know, gold is a solid investment at the moment. I think the price will strengthen more, and even at these prices, you can generate 40-45% return on your revenue. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we kind of like hope that investors listening in do definitely go and consider Volcanic Gold Mines. Sounds an absolutely fantastic company and another sort of great addition to the gold group. That was Simon Ridgway, President and Chief Executive Officer of Volcanic Gold Mines, and also Chairman of Gold Group, with Andrew Thake from Mines and Money. Thank you very much, Simon.
Thank you, Andrew. Nice talking with you.